Okay, yeah, so another episode of the Nomads Journal podcast. It's been a minute. But yeah, here in Sunshine Coast in Australia with B from Salt Sista.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, defo. Thanks for coming on onto the podcast. It's crazy. We've known each other a month,
Something like that.
something like that. Some crazy encounter at Umendi markets.
Yeah.
And yeah, here we are. But yeah, explain sort of like who you are, what Salt Sisters is, all that
Um,
good stuff.
well, I mean, me generally, I didn't really come from like a full surfing background or anything like that. I was in like the corporate world. I bounced from job to job over the years and
Crazy.
just, you know, in my 20s trying to figure life out and all of that. And then, I found surfing and it's been 4 years now. Like I've been surfing for 4 years and I'm absolutely in love with it. Hey, like I can't I don't even know. I get why people get obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Like the joy that it brings me. It's made me happier than anything ever has in my life. Any like person. Like obviously I love my family and
No, of
stuff,
course.
of
Yeah, yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah.
But like it just really brings me so much joy, and I never really had anything like that was my own.
Mm,
I always really did a lot of stuff for that I thought I was meant to do, that society told me I was meant to do, like find the perfect job, find the perfect
yeah.
guy, find get a house, all of that stuff. And
The blueprint.
yeah, the full on blueprint. And I found surfing and I was like, what have I been doing? Like so obsessed. And it's you don't have to be amazing at it to love it. So
No.
yeah, I started surfing 4 years ago, and then from that it just it grew into a love. And then it was what I think nearly a year ago that I kind of launched Salt Sister. I'd been thinking about it over the years, but you don't really think you can do it. You're like, oh, how would I
The
ever?
imposter syndrome is
Yeah,
insane. Yeah.
fully. You're like, how would I ever do that? I know nothing about it. And I think, I have a really good support system, and I got some really good opportunities to be able to put me into the position to actually go, you know what, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
So I kind of started the socials in was it April last year, and then we kind of launched in October last year, and it's been the biggest whirlwind, like so many ups and downs. Like there's just days where I'm like, oh, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like what am I doing? I'm gonna fail. Like
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but there's just some like really epic things that have come from it. Like I've met so many beautiful women.
Yeah.
The community we've created like is just insane. I speak to women all over the world now, and it's women that you know I'd never meet otherwise. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the same. Like when it comes to like like nomadic and stuff like that. Like
Mm,
back home, again, the most insane support system. Nobody really got it, but
mm,
I think that's because like I started it and I was kind of like fumbling around with it,
yeah,
and it's only really in the last like 2 years that I've actually been like, nope, I know the direction that I want to take it.
yeah,
I know what the purpose of this is and all this sort of stuff. And like since knowing that, and also actually sort of like living that nomadic lifestyle
mm.
in terms of like going traveling, picking up surfing, like
It's
loving
so
and
cool.
getting involved in skating a little bit more. You just do meet and create
Yeah,
that community,
yeah.
and like people just get it. Do you know what
I
I mean?
I I think too. Like I've always had trouble. Like I'm a bit of a tomboy. Like I grew up in school and was bullied a lot for like being a tomboy, and
Yeah,
I never really had a good like I've had got a couple of really long term mates, but I've never had like a good group of chick mates, like
yeah,
girl mates,
yeah, yeah,
women.
yeah,
I've never had that, and it wasn't until I started Salt Sister that I'm surrounded by these beautiful women that, and I'm like, why is this different? And I
yeah,
think the difference is like you really draw in, because you're like it's so niched, right? It's surfing, or like in your case it's like skating and surfing and all that
yeah.
kind of stuff. You draw in those women who are interested in that, and a lot of the time those women aren't gossipy. They're not like that.
No.
So they're just
Yeah,
cool people to be around, and they love what you love what they love. And
you just get it.
um
There's like a mutual understanding. Yeah,
yeah, and just proper respect, I think, to women trying to do anything like in business. Or I think, I look at people in business now and I'm like, wow, big respect.
yeah,
Big
100%.
respect. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done,
Yeah,
honestly. Just mentally trying to because it's such a personal thing too, like it's your brand. So you're like, oh, do people not like it? Oh, they like it, or like there's just so many ups and downs, and it's so mentally challenging, but it's honestly also one of the best things I've ever done.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so sick. Like I wouldn't have met you. There's a
No.
bunch of girls I go surfing with now. I didn't have any of those girlfriends before Salt Sister, so yeah, so grateful.
Yeah.
Grateful.
So grateful. Love
So
that.
grateful.
Is that kind of like why you started Salt Sister then?
The community, honestly, I started Salt Sister because I wanted. So I have been always like a little bit conscious of like being in a bikini.
Okay,
Just never like I've got like a natural chest, and I never found bikinis that were like comfortable for me.
Yeah.
Especially to surf in.
Yes.
Like I shortboard, so I'm out in like a little bit bigger surf. It's pretty rough sometimes. And when I started surfing, I was like, oh my God, this is so annoying.
No, 100%. I get like, I think I was talking to you about it because I was like, I need to get one of your bikinis because I was literally going out and like you pop up and you're flashing people.
Yeah.
Or like you go to the and you just like, oh, like shit, is my like shorts gonna fall down or anything like that, you know?
The amount of times I've had like a top just like come off, and it's just like you're out there in a lineup full of guys.
Yeah, truly.
It's like more annoying than anything because like I just really want to improve on my surfing, and I was just getting really annoyed at like the bikinis, and I had this like one bikini that I wore the whole time, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna see if I can like make my own, and surely there's women out there that, you know, want bikinis that are a bit more practical rather than, you know, I'd love for them to be super cute and pretty, but you know, I've also want to really think about the practicality of it all.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really important to me, and so that's kind of why I started Salt Sister. And you know, my brother, he owns a business, and he's just such a motivation to watch. And I work with him as well, and so
that's nice. You get to bounce off of him in like a professional business, like practical side of things.
And just like exactly, and watching him succeed, I was like, I want to do something too, and I bounced around with a few ideas, and I thought about like a swimwear line even before surfing, and I was just like, right, this is what I'm going to do. And so yeah, the practicality of it all is really what I wanted to create. I really wanted to create swimmers that stayed on, and that were for people that were like did surfing or just really just wanted something comfortable. And then the community followed. The community, truly. I was like, whoa, this is so much fun. I was just like, every time, like, I'm blown away when people reach out to me and like, we love watching you, and I'm just like, oh hot.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, that's kind of why I created it, because I wanted swimmers myself. I wanted to make swimmers for myself, and then the community and all this fun stuff kind of happened.
Oh, so good. Like, it's nice when it like naturally comes around like that. Like, you obviously seen a need, and there 100% was a need, and like even myself, especially like traveling and stuff like that, you want something that you know, like you can invest in and it's gonna last.
Yeah.
But also it's gonna be practical, and but also like look good. Yeah. Like I'm the same. Like I have that one bikini where I'm like, right, okay, no, I know it's gonna be secure. It's not gonna fall off or anything like that. Yeah. Me, I'm usually the one falling over. And so it's like, yeah, there's definitely a need for that, and it's so nice that naturally like other people have understood that need, but also love what you're like trying to do.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I thought about like not putting myself on the socials.
I was did like the exact same thing with Nomadic, because I was like, no, I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, oh, do I like? I didn't really want to be. It just naturally I had to get on there because you know, a brand new brand is like really, it's expensive. Yeah, it's expensive, and I was like, you know, if I'm going to create content, I can't be outsourcing it all the time.
No.
Obviously I do have some girlfriends and stuff I can use, but I was like, it's just easy for me to just jump in a bikini and do a little bit of content. So I did naturally jump in there, and it's interesting because every time I do put something on there that's just me chatting or whatever, people are loving it, and I'm like, oh, I see.
Like I was the same. I was like with Nomadic. Like, oh no, like I don't want to put myself out there. Like
it's scary, right?
So scary.
It's so scary.
But then people actually love love the story, and they love the why behind what you're doing.
Yeah, they do.
And like, yeah, I guess it's the same. It's the same with Salt Sista.
Well, I guess it's you know, very old tale, like human connection. It's really, you know what, Salt Sista's really. It's gonna sound weird, but it's really ignited my faith in people again. I think we all have our traumas or whatever, but I guess I've had a few people let me down pretty hard, and I was pretty introverted because of that, and I'm very extroverted when I want to be, but like because of that I was like pretty closed off to having like friends. Hey baby.
Hello.
This is my baby. And so, you know, having women that were just lovely for just me just doing this brand and going out on this like limb, and it's all scary and they're just lovely, and you're like, oh, there is cool chicks out there. There are nice people out there. It really has ignited this like brand new kind of look on people again, which is, it sounds so strange, but you know, it is what it is. Like,
No, I think as well, like when you've been let down by people in the past and you put your faith in people and it kind of like crumbles away a little bit, to then go off and do something by yourself, and that in itself, and just having the strength to be like, no, okay, people have let me down in the past, I'm going to take control of this, I'm going to do this for myself, by myself.
Yeah.
And then you're doing it and you're doing your thing, and then people are actually like find out what you're doing and who you are, and they also want to back you, and they're also like naturally
so
like
much encouragement. You know what, when I started the socials, I was like, oh my god, am I gonna get like people who will just be awful? Because you know, being on social media now with Salt Sister a lot, I see so many people on the internet, they're so mean. I'm like,
truly.
Why are they so mean to each other?
Yeah, literally.
Like, it's awful, especially on like TikTok.
Yeah,
like you go to the comments on something and you just be like, people are just shredding people up, and none of that has happened for Salt Sister, and I think that's because
never does.
yeah, no, I don't think it will. You know, I'm not on there having a rant or anything about. I'm on there just spreading love. Like, I just really want women to feel like they can go and do anything that they want to do in life, and say yes to everything that they want to do in life, whether that be adventurous or not. And I would hate for it to become a negative community. And anyone that decides they want to put negative comments in the they'll be kicked off.
Yeah, 100%. There's no time, there's no space for that.
Look, it's been absolutely lovely. Everyone who's engaged with Salt Sister, the likes, the comments, the private messages, like, I have so much love and just am so grateful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's been absolutely sick. It's been really, really cool.
And so, like, obviously, so Salt Sister started a year ago, you're saying, but you actually started surfing 4 years ago?
Yeah, I started surfing 4 years ago. It's a funny story. Do you know what? I've lived
Anytime you say it's a funny story, I'm like, oh no.
Here we go. It's not that funny. It's just so random.
Yeah.
It's just so random. Like, I grew up on the Gold Coast. Like, I've always been, and again, there, I never really felt like I fit in there. When I moved to the Sunshine Coast, I think it was about 6 years ago. I might be wrong. Maybe it was 8 years ago. Can't remember. I definitely found a love for the Sunshine Coast. The people here are really lovely. It's very much more chilled than the Gold Coast. Yeah. And so I've always been on the coast. I've always been near the water. I've never been like scared of the water or anything like that. But I've never really done anything, like I said, for me. And I had a surfboard laying around from a previous relationship. I just, you know, those things that you just have and like, I'll use that one day. Yeah. And then you never use it.
Yeah.
Well, I was, you know, newly kind of, I guess, single, and I had this surfboard. And it was really hot. It was like December. It was like Christmas time, hot.
I love how I'm thinking December. That's cold. I'm in Australia.
No, it's hot.
It's so hot.
It is hot. And I was like just bored one day, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take this thing down and see if I can do it. I don't know why I had that thought. Like,
that's so cool.
It was just this like 6 foot cheap surfboard.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it not even like a long board either. Not like a foamy. You're just like, yeah,
I'm just gonna
go short board.
Yeah, well, no, it was just one I had laying around. You know those things you have laying around? Yeah. So I took it out. I went down to Happy Valley, which is pretty beginner friendly, I guess. It can turn on though.
Yeah, definitely.
And I just went out. I'm like, I can't even remember what I was thinking. I just went out. I didn't even go in the whitewash. I'm just going
straight out the bar.
It mustn't have been that big because I don't quite remember the first time, but like I just remember thinking like, I'm bored. I'm going to take this thing out and see. And from that moment, I didn't stop. I just didn't stop.
Love that.
I just was obsessed. And at that time, obviously, you know, coming out of a relationship, you know, kind of finding your feet again, all that kind of stuff. I was, I think 28 or 29. And I just had to start this kind of new life, and it really filled my time.
Yeah.
And gave me purpose and made me happy. It made me so happy. And it really got me through some tough times. So, like, honestly, I'm just so grateful that I found it. It keeps me fit.
Yeah.
It gets me up in the morning. It's introduced me to so many women. So, yeah, that's how I started surfing. It was just so random. And it was just one day I picked up a surfboard and I haven't stopped.
Oh, I love that, though. And I love the fact as well that you just went straight out on, like, a shortboard.
Yeah.
Because I've been surfing now for a couple of years, and, like, I was on a foamy, and
You did so well. We went surfing the other day.
Yeah,
you
man,
did
thank
amazing.
you.
You were just like out there. That was
treacherous.
yeah. No, the shores were pretty crazy. I was like, oh, far out. Like, but you know,
they were not built for a longboard.
No, they weren't. But the thing is you just came out and you sat there.
100%.
And I think that's the important thing with surfing is a lot of women. And look, I'm not an expert. I've been surfing for 4 years, but a lot of women are really scared of just even going out there, which is totally fair enough.
Yeah, 100%.
But just like you don't even have to catch a wave. Just go out, sit in the lineup,
Yeah.
feel comfortable in the water, feel comfortable on your board, and then maybe next time you'll catch a wave.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
It's as simple as that, yeah.
Because that's the thing is I started a couple of years ago surfing, and I was on a foamy, like it was at the Wave in Bristol back home in the UK, and it's like a inland.
Is it cold there?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm such a Queensland girl, hey. Like,
yeah,
oh my god, it's getting cold now, and I'm like,
yeah,
why is
this
the
is
water
what's
so
making
fresh?
this is what's making me laugh. Like I'll go out like Alex Head now, and like last week went out a couple of times in the morning, and all the locals, you can tell who the locals are because they're all in like tops, like long sleeve rashies or like wetsuits. I'm pretty sure I was the only person there in like a bikini, just a bikini.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is still warm for me.
No.
But yeah, I started on a foamy, and now that like I've bought my first board here in Sunny Coast like a couple of months ago, or like a month and a half ago, I feel like a beginner all over again.
Yeah. Well, when you change boards, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So the fact that you just went out like with a like that sounds insane, but also like so good because like I 100% feel like I'm learning all over again.
Yeah, and look, I think it's just so sick that you're starting. Like,
yeah, man. Thank you.
I see girls in surf, and I'm like, yes. Like, you don't see many of them. You really don't see many of them.
No.
And it's so important to hype other women up.
Yeah,
in the surf, for sure.
100%.
Because it's a really intimidating sport in a way, especially for girls. The one biggest kind of fear that I had, I guess if you could call it a fear or something I had to get over, was the thought of like, oh, I don't deserve to be out here. And I think a lot of people think like that. Yeah. Like, I can't do it. I don't deserve to be out here, and there's people just shredding around me. I'm like, what? Yeah. And you constantly have that thought, and then you kind of fall off, or you just kook it or something, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
You know, you have those thoughts, and I think that was one thing that I really just had to get over real quick.
Yeah.
If I wanted to continue surfing.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think like that's the thing that I think you kind of have to get over when you're doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, but more so, I think, well, from my personal experience, I think it's a bigger thing in surfing, because it like people go on about it, but it is a male dominated sport.
It is.
But also you're in the ocean, and like it's not one of those things where you go to like, because like I'm like a design engineer, which is also like back home, which is also quite
so sick. It's so cool.
Which is also like a male dominated thing, but like I'm in the office, and like okay, you got to prove yourself and things like that, but I don't know, like when you're out doing a sport, it's completely different, because it's usually never just you.
No,
you never really know, like you're surrounded by nature, and like that's got its whole other thing going on,
constantly changing, the landscape
constantly changing. 100%. And you are usually competing with other people. Like even in like a lineup, when you're like casually going surfing and stuff like that, if there's a wave coming in, you can guarantee that there's going to be at least like 2-3 other people trying to get that wave. It may not be like a competition, but you're like, oh no, like I want that wave. You know?
Really got to hustle sometimes. And look, don't get me wrong, I want to kind of caveat this, but like there are so many like nice local guys where I surf, but like I've had some run-ins. And you've really got to hustle. And I think maybe like having brothers helped me with that.
I was the same.
Having brothers, I was like, you know what? No, this is my wave. Like, you do get. And look, we only kind of go. People are like, oh, this guy dropped it, because it's so male. If there was chicks out there doing that, we'd say it about the girls. But like, it's nothing against the guys. It's just that there's so many of them out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's a normally like, you know, I've only ever had run-ins with like middle-aged guys that just, I don't know what they have against me. I'm just trying to catch my wave, man. Like,
leave me alone, dude.
And then you've got to like tackle the whole like, you know, landscape of it all.
Yeah.
Different waves. Is it a reefy? Is it a beachy? Like, there's just all different. And so, yeah, it can be really, really scary and intimidating. But honestly, I think what drives people to do it is the reward you get, that 5-second, if that, reward of being on a wave, and you're just like,
yeah, no, literally. Like, I've never had anything else in my life, I don't think. Maybe other than like nomadic, but even then to get me up at like 5:30 in the morning. So and then I can be out in the water by 6.
Yes.
I've never had
I
that
saw your
before.
video the other day and I was like, get a girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so good.
And I actually genuinely couldn't tell you why. But other than just, I have to.
Yeah. It's just, I think it's I don't know, I'm the scientist here, dopamine or
Yeah.
whatever it is. It's
all the emotions,
all
the
feels.
all the chemicals, all the feels. It's all going on. But it is, and again, like the last couple of times that I've been out, I think I've caught like one wave. But you know, like just to get out.
How good was that wave though?
Yeah, exactly. It was so good. And like you said, for those 5 seconds, I was on top of the world.
Oh,
like,
I'm so freaking proud of you. And you're doing so much traveling too. I think that's such a, like, I don't know, what's the word? It's just empowering to see. Like, traveling for me is a little bit, I get scared to travel by myself. So I think it's like you're all the way across the world and you're surfing and making new friends. And you just come up to me at the markets and you're like, hey, and we just done, I was like, who is this girl? This is sick.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I've never really thought of it. Like, it is definitely a big thing. And like, but I think the biggest thing of it was actually saying goodbye to like my friends and family.
Yeah, that would have been hard.
Actually getting on the plane, coming out here, like doing the visas.
Can I ask you a question? Yeah. What made you, I guess, do it?
I've always wanted to travel.
Yeah.
Always. And like, I've definitely got a bit of security in the fact that my auntie and uncle live in Brisbane. They moved out here years ago.
Okay, yeah. So if something crazy, like it's Australia.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're there.
Yeah, exactly. That's nice. And I think that does help. But also, like, I was living with my sister and her partner, Sai, before coming out here, and they both did their working holiday visas in Australia.
Yeah, so you've seen someone do it type thing.
Yeah, I've seen somebody do it. I've heard somebody talk about it, but also just the visa process for Australia just seems so much straightforward compared to other places. And so I was just like, yeah, like, but other people are like, okay, so you went to the other side of the world and that was the easiest. And I'm like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
But I don't know. It was just like, it was just something that I had to do. Like,
I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
You've probably made 1 million friends that you'll have for life.
Yeah.
You're going now and I'm like, don't leave.
Yeah, I'm going to go traveling for another couple of months and then I'm probably going to come back because, yeah, like you said, like meeting friends and stuff like that. Like, I've made such a community here and such like I've got like friends here.
You do.
Like,
I've got you.
I've got like, I've even joined a run club, which I never thought.
Sick.
I never thought that would happen.
I need to start running again. It's so good for you.
Honestly, I've been out here 6 months now. 7 months ago. Oh yeah, you're gonna join a run club? No, I'm not. Absolutely. You're gonna do 5K? No, absolutely not.
Running is so good for you. I mean, if I surf, I don't really do anything else. But
that's my thing.
If I don't surf, I will go like run or yoga. I do a lot of yoga.
I think my thing is as well is like I actually started running because I seen that it was going to benefit the surfing side of things.
Oh yeah, the cardio.
Yeah, and the endurance.
Yeah,
like because I've always been big into like weightlifting and like all that sort of stuff, but cardio it was never really a thing. And then I started surfing, and I was just like, and even skating.
You need skating too.
And I was just like, oh
my god, I cannot skate to save my life. By the way.
Can you not?
Nah.
I thought you'd shred it.
I tried to skate the other day with Ali and I was like, I can't do this. And I was like, I just get stuck. Like, it's so, like, it just doesn't, I think I'm scared of the cement. So there you go. I mean, there's people that could skate to shred.
Yeah.
And that might be scared of the ocean.
Yeah,
whereas
so true.
Like, I'm sweet in the ocean. Like, I'm like, toss me around. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, and that's crazy. That's actually leading me on to my next question. Like surfing stories and stuff like that. Because I was thinking about it on, I think, last week when I was in the ocean. I was like, crazy. Like, I had a couple of run-ins when we went to Watula and I got kept down.
Yeah.
And like literally like last breath had to like.
That's your fear, yeah.
And like, yeah, honestly, that's like drowning is my fear.
I think that's a big one.
Yeah, 100%.
It is a big one for people.
But like, when you think of the ocean, you probably think of it like calm, or not you, like people in general.
Yeah.
Think of it calm and like soft and stuff like that. And like, yeah, you think of cement and you think, oh, that's gonna hurt you. But actually, the ocean, oh my, water.
If you hit the water hard enough, it feels like cement.
Yeah, 100%.
But you know what? I think I've had a really bad injury. I haven't, I guess, talked about it too much. My close friends know. I think there's a little bit of embarrassment there, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. But, so, I mean, I was like a year in.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I'm not blowing wind up my ass here, but like for me, I'm just like, I just want to be better, so I'm just going to charge everything.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go everything.
Full send.
And so I was just like full send on everything. I'm a little bit more picky now. I guess I've learned to read
Probably
the
good
ocean
thing.
a little bit
Yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah.
But so what happened
And
was,
you learn all of that while you're out in the water anyway,
you just got to get out there to do it. Like the best thing you can do for your surfing is surf.
Yeah, literally.
You can sit there and practice pop-ups and all that, which is great.
Yeah.
But the best thing you can do for your surfing is surf.
Yeah.
100%. And you'll hear other people say that. I've watched heaps of surfing videos and stuff while I was learning, and they're like, just go surf.
Yeah. Well, in Watella, like literally, like you guys were just like, obviously I got held down. I know what I'm like, and I'm like, I just want to get back out there because I know that if I sit on the beach and watch it, it's just going to play in my head.
I'm so like freaking proud of you.
Just got out there. It was an absolute battle. But even just being surrounded by you guys, where you were like, even if you don't surf, you're in the water and you're learning.
And you had your girls with you, so it's so nice having girls in the water with you.
Absolutely.
I used to really love surfing by myself. But now that I've found a good group of girls, like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine going out without them now.
Yeah,
I love it. You just have the best time.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of the serious. For me, like, I'm a little bit of a serious Sally. I want to be better. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? How can I fix things? And I wasn't having enough fun with it.
Yeah.
And so when I have my girls out there, it's like we just have a good time.
Yeah, Mum.
And it takes a little bit of that seriousness away, which is really good. But yeah.
Sorry.
So no, that's okay. So yeah, going back to that story. So I had been out the night before, which I don't normally do. Like I'm not someone that goes out really, like, ever. I don't even remember the last time like I was drunk. Yeah, it's just not like a thing that I do. But yeah, I just like, I'm gonna go for a surf. I think it was a Sunday, and just wash the feeling of being tired away.
Yeah.
And I was at Dickies. Dickies has got like a really crazy shorey sometimes. And so I just kind of went out and I was like, you know what, I'll just go surf the shore. I don't really feel like paddling out the back. It was a bit full out the back anyway. So I went out, and I think it was like the second wave. I didn't even see it coming, hey. Like, I had this like really silly habit when I started surfing, or in my first year, which I do not do anymore. It's a little bit embarrassing.
I love how you're like, I don't do it anymore.
I don't do it anymore, everyone.
Nobody give me hate.
Nobody give me hate. No, but like this is the stuff you learn. You just learn. Like
100%,
I didn't have anyone teaching me or showing me. I was just watching YouTube, watching surfing videos, watching other people surf, and then just going out there and trying. So I just had silly habits, and I still have some habits I'm trying to kick, like my pop-up's not great. Like that's all stuff that you kind of learn. But anyway, so I had this habit of like on my back end, if it was closing out, I'd just kind of like push through the back of the wave, and normally it was fun. I'd just kind of go back. It would just, my board would fly out. Yeah. It's so embarrassing. My board would fly out, but it served me well for a year. I was doing fine. But this particular time, because the shorey was quite strong, being at Dickies, there was just like dry sand underneath it. I was on back end, seen it closing out, tried to do that maneuver. Yeah. And because of the energy of the wave, it's just launched me forward, and I've literally gone over the fall with like head first, I think. It must have been. Yeah. And I've hit the sandbank really hard, and I broke my neck. Oh. Yeah, I broke my neck in 3 spots.
You're again full send, 3 spots, not
full
even
send,
one.
Full send, not even one.
Oh,
it was crazy. Like I didn't even know I had done it at the time, right? I got up, like it hurt. So I knew something was up.
Yeah, it probably would.
But I was like, I should be right. Should be right.
So Aussie.
Yeah.
She'll be right.
She'll be right. So I kind of come up, and I remember like my vision went like white. Everything went white. And my left arm went completely numb and like really tingly. And I come up, and I remember kind of letting out a bit of a groan. I was like, oh. And I was awake. I wasn't knocked out. Someone must have saw it. It must have looked pretty bad, because I almost went back out, and I was like, no, that hurt. I'm going to go in for a bit.
Thank God you didn't.
Yeah, thank God I didn't. I'm going to go in for a bit, and I grabbed my board, and I was a little bit disorientated. Like I just hit my head pretty hard. And I was just like, I was trying really hard just to kind of like, I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God.
And again, like a year in, being a female in the lineup as well, we kind of just like, no, it's fine.
It's
like,
fine.
Nothing happened. Like, you're there, neck broken in 3 places. Nothing happened.
It's like it's Sunday. There's people everywhere at the beach.
And Dickies too.
And I'm just like, bam, Dickies. And this guy come up to me, ran up to me. He's like, are you okay? And he's grabbed my board. My board was like floating. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm fine. Like, leave me alone. Because I was so embarrassed.
Yeah. Dented the ego.
Yeah, it was full ego thing. And I was like, you idiot. I saw him after, actually, and I thanked him. And I'm like, I'm so sorry that like I was just a bit standing. I was just so embarrassed. Like, he was lovely. I thank God he was there. And I grabbed my board, and I walked up, sat down, and you know how when you're like tanning on the beach, you like lay on your tummy.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I was laying on my tummy and
Couldn't.
I couldn't hold myself up. It was so painful. Like it just wasn't working. And so after about an hour or two, I was like, I'm gonna go home. I'm just sitting there with a broken neck.
Should be right.
Should be right. And so I was living at my mum's house at the time because I was saving for my first house. God bless my mum. Mum, I love you. So I came in to mum and she's just doing a thing. She's like, can you do this? I'm like, mum, just can leave me alone for a minute. I hurt myself. I really hurt my neck. And I laid on my couch and I put some ice on it and I was kind of Googling what had happened. And the Google said like broken neck. And I was like, crap, oh my God. Okay. And I think I was a bit upset at this point because I didn't know what was going on. I was like, oh my God, what's actually happening? And
well, yeah.
I said to my mum, I was like, Mum, I think you got to take me to the hospital. I think I've broken my neck. And she was like, okay. Like she didn't panic because I was walking.
Yeah.
I was walking.
Well, yeah, because you're saying all of this and you're like, yeah, I broke my neck, like into the sandbar, all this sort of stuff, got up. And I'm like, how do you even get up after that?
I was extremely lucky. I definitely could have died.
That's
definitely
insane.
Could have been paralyzed. All of that. And I am so extremely grateful. I think it happened for a reason. There's definitely some things, and that's a whole nother story that came from it and just some realizations and things like that. So it definitely happened for a reason. I'm grateful that it happened. I'm grateful to be alive.
Yeah, 100%.
Grateful to be walking and being okay. So she took me to the hospital, and you know when you go into like the ER and they're like, or the emergency room, and they're like, you have to wait like 3 hours. I walked up to the desk and I'm like, oh, this happened there. That just got me in straight away. I was like, whoa. And then
it was bad.
I was like, oh my God, the panic started to set in.
Yeah, bad.
Panic started to set in. So long story short, I spent 3 days at the hospital. I had a brace on. They wouldn't really tell me what was going on. And the surgeon came in, or the doctor came in and just said, look, these are your options. You can either get a plate in your neck, which means like full plate down. I wouldn't be able to like move my neck properly.
Yeah, no.
Or, 50% of the doctors might say that you can just have a brace on for 3 months. I said, I'm not having surgery. No way. I was like, I can't not move my neck again.
Yeah.
Like I need to be able to surf.
Yeah. 100%.
So, I went with that and I got so sick from being in the hospital too. That was a whole other thing. I was so sick just from like, I must have been like the germs or the stress, or it was an
Probably
ordeal.
a bit of both.
It was an ordeal. And I said, when can I surf again? That's all I wanted. I was like, you can't drive for 3 months. You definitely cannot surf for 6 months. I was like, what?
6 months?
6 months? I was panicked. I was so upset. It was really,
of course.
I was so upset. I couldn't yoga. I was like one of the most active persons I know. Like I would run, yoga, surf, whatever I could do, I was doing, and I couldn't do any of it. And it was 2021, so it was kind of around the time we'd all started working from home. So luckily, my job at the time, I was able to work from home for quite a few days. And then my mum would drop me to work once I'd go into the office. But
nice.
basically the reason I'm okay is because the way I hit the sandbank was like pretty much head on. And so because like nothing twisted.
As in like
nothing,
top of head?
Yeah. So nothing twisted. It was a compound fracture. I think that's what they called it. So nothing like tore or twisted. My muscles, my ligaments, everything in there was okay. It was literally the bone that just went donk.
Yeah.
And because of that, I was able to not have a plate. I was able to heal really quickly.
Oh, Jesus
and it was
Christ,
just
that's
like
so
a
lucky.
broken. Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm so lucky. It was just like a broken bone. It just needed to. So I had a brace on for 3 months straight. My like sternum, I was in so much pain. My sternum, like my chin, everything was like held up and rigid, and it was the most torturous 3 months of my life.
That does sound like torture. I'm not gonna lie. Even just the staying still part.
Well, my mom, I had to shower in the brace and everything. It was horrible. I see people that have accidents, whether it be from like a motorbike accident or surfing or whatever, and they don't get so lucky, and my heart just breaks because I couldn't imagine. People are like, oh, you still surf? I'm like, yeah. It was fully just an accident. Like, yeah, I contributed to it from doing silly maneuvers, but these things can happen to everyone, and that's not to scare everyone, but it is really, really important. I think the one thing I took from that is like, okay, I need to be a bit more like aware of what I'm doing, not 100%. Just charge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We'll still full send, but we'll actually know what we're full sending into.
Yeah. Like, and it's okay to like pull back. It's okay not to like, I think I was trying to prove something to myself or something. I don't know what I was doing, but I'm okay because of that. And they were like, as soon as I got the brace off, I'm like, can I go something? They're like, no. I went, sorry. I totally went surfing.
Don't tell them that. But
No, I won't tell them that. But look, I took it easy. I just went
of
on a
course.
longboard for a while,
Yeah, nice.
and it was tender for a while, and then I just listened to my body, and I was like, yeah, I'm sweet. I can,
Yeah.
and I'm fine. It's fine.
Crazy. I'm like, oh, stay still. Oh, don't do that.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah. So that's probably one of the craziest stories of like surfing. I've had a couple of. Hang on, let me get my dog, Monty. Monty, come here, babe.
Chill, buddy.
I've had, I guess, a run-in with a guy before. Have you ever had a run-in with any like guys yet?
I haven't. I've been really, really lucky. I also think that like I'm not brave enough to go out by myself yet.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is. I
You'll
think
get
it's
there.
just like I think I'm just like I need like if something goes wrong, it would be nice to just know that I've got someone around me, you know?
For sure.
And
For
I'm
sure.
just, especially with the new board and all this sort of
Yeah.
stuff, which is so funny though, because like when I got held down, obviously like nearly drowned, like it was very bad, all this sort of stuff. The instant
It's scary.
I seen my board fly, and instantly I was like, hope my board doesn't break. And then next thing you know, I was just under nearly drowning.
Yeah,
It is so mad how you think about your board and like all the other things.
It's your safety net out there, your board. Like I feel weird if I
100%.
like try and just tread water when I'm out there. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this feels weird. I need my board.
Yeah.
Like you need your board. It feels so good. But I think,
no, I've been really, really lucky. I haven't touched wood. I've been all good.
And like I think it'll just come like as you get more confident in surfing or whatever. You'll
exactly.
I mean, it's always funner to go out with people though. But like, yeah, I mean, I was with someone when this guy blatantly dropped, like it was so dangerous. He blatantly dropped in on me, and I went off. I had enough that day for some reason. It happens a lot.
That's absolutely fair.
But it was like I called the wave. I was on the inside, like it was my wave.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, because he was paddling for it, like after I had started paddling for it, and it was my wave, and so I called it, and then he kind of like cheekily, that's not a word, like I don't know, he was being cheeky, and he kind of called it back. And I was like, no.
That's just rude, dude.
It was so rude.
That's just rude. Like, you can call it what it is.
Like, yeah, it was so rude. And so, like, he dropped in on me. And, like, we could have collided. Everyone was fine. But that's one I remember because it was just so blatant. He was just being an ass.
Yeah.
He was just doing it for no reason. And I was like, fuck.
Like, there's going to be another wave, so.
Yeah, and anyway, so I just went off on him.
Yeah.
I was just like, and I think girls should, like, if it's that blatant, like, just stick up for yourself.
100%.
Stick up for yourself. You've got to, like, you know, you can't just, accidents happen.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I've done the same, and it's again, probably luckily, it was another girl. And like we were literally showering at Alex's head, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I did not move out your way quick enough. Like I'm really, really sorry. And she was like, dude, don't worry about it. She was like, you apologized in the lineup. You don't need to apologize now. Like she was like, I still got the wave. I was like, okay, sweet.
Accidents totally happen. Like,
yeah,
we're not
for
all
sure.
Professionals and everything like that. And I think it's important just to be like, oh, sorry, man. Or,
yeah.
You know, if you do that, that's fine.
But again, just a bit of awareness.
Yeah.
And most people are sweet.
Yeah, and look. It sounds all negative, but yeah, most people are awesome. Like there's so many cool local guys that I surf at Watella, and they're just like, oh hey B, and they're just really lovely, and yeah, it's such a nice culture down there, and I just love surfing down at Watella. I hardly go anywhere else.
Yeah, for sure. Which is so weird because like obviously I've only been there the once, and the onshore break was insane. Yeah,
it was a pretty great, like it was actually it was solid today, but it was fuller. So coming on a higher tab, we'll have to go. Yeah. Oh, you're going soon. We'll go.
I'm
again.
back. I'll be back.
You better come back.
I'll be back. That's a threat and a promise. Don't you worry.
You better come back. Because we'll definitely surf. I mean, I love like anyone who's like, oh, like I'm scared. I'm like, I'll go surfing with you.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm surfing on a longboard, a foamy, nothing. Like I love seeing chicks get out in the surf. It's so cool.
What do you think? Like in terms, obviously, the different boards and stuff like that. Like, I've never realized that much. I've just been like, a board is a board. Like, people are out there. It's really, really cool. But it wasn't until I was like, oh, God, dude, I'm not getting these waves. I was out with Lottie on Straddy. And I was like, dude, I'm not getting these waves. I was like, everybody else is getting these waves. And he was like, yeah, because you're surrounded by a load of longboards. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I didn't realise there was that much of a difference.
No,
and again, don't come for me. I'm learning.
So like, I'm not a connoisseur of surfboards, fins, and shapes. And that's something I need to learn. Or, you know, I haven't learned it. I do know the basics, and obviously learning longboard, perfect.
Yeah.
If you want a shortboard, get a really buoyant one.
Yeah. A lot of volume.
Yeah, a lot of volume. It helps you get on the wave more. So I know the basics of it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people do what they do is they'll try and progress too much. I did it. I was like, I just want a cool shortboard.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
totally a thing.
Yeah,
And
well,
again,
that's where I was at, because like it was like even the two boards that I nearly like, the one that I bought, I'm glad that I did, because it's definitely like where I'm
your
at.
longboard, yeah.
But I was just like, oh, I want that one. It looks cool.
I
But
know.
I would have been
It's such
so
an ego
frustrated
thing.
by now.
You just want to have that
100%.
cool board. But do you know what I went and bought like this epoxy, which is like it's quite light and moves really nice under your feet and everything like that. But for my level, I just needed still a bit. Even at 4 years, I still need that little bit more stability on my board. Because like I said, I'm working on like my pop up. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Once I'm on the wave, I'm fine. But I went to this epoxy board. It was quite narrow. When I got up, any bump, it feels everything. And the waves aren't super clean on the Sunny Coast all the time. So I stepped back down to my fish.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit more buoyancy and it's a little bit wider, and so I've got the stability in that, and I am so in love with that board now.
Oh, nice.
And so I think I just kind of let go of the fact that it doesn't look as who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares? And I get more waves.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can honestly move it better now because I've just surfed more.
Yeah.
Whereas
cool.
when I started surfing and I bought that board, I couldn't move it. It was too hard to move, and that's why I was like, oh, I need a lighter board.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think you just need to I mean, look, everyone's different.
Yeah, for sure.
Some people love longboarding and they do not want a shortboard, and that is
And
hats off to you. I can't do it. I look like the biggest kook ever.
fully. Because like even when we went down to Coolangatta, went and met up with Lottie, Lottie and Tim and my friends that I met here, like traveling and stuff like that, and another friend from home, Alice. And Lottie is literally, she's from Brighton, which is like a proper like surfer town, like back home in the UK, and she kills it, dude. Like she's 19 years old and she like shreds.
I'd love to have surfed as a Grommie.
Yeah, fully.
Could you imagine?
And like, I mean, there's a little something with her coming soon. And like her story, yeah, man, her story is sick. Like so cool. But she was out like getting like the waves and stuff like that, and it was after being held down, going surfing like with you a couple of weeks ago, and I was still a bit like nervous and all sort of stuff. But it was so cool to see, like, I caught, like, even on that one, I caught a couple of waves and I was so gassed. I was so happy. It was probably like a 1 footer, but I do not care.
Yeah, no. It's all like the fact, like I said, the fact that you're even out there,
Yeah, for sure.
It's scary. I think the biggest thing with like the hold down, everyone's different. Everyone's going to have a different fear. My fear more is like, hurting myself like I did. And it happened.
Yeah.
But I think for me, like it's still scary and big as well. But for me, to get past any kind of like worry about, and I've said this to you before, is I will have a lot of fun with it when I'm under the water. So just say I'm under the water and I'm being held down, I do not panic. It's hard. It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But I'll be like, wee. Like just have fun. Just you're gonna come up.
Yes.
We don't surf reefs here in Australia. If you surf reefs, obviously there's like things that can get caught. But if you're surfing a beachy, like, and it's pretty full and everything like that, you're not going to hit the sandbank and you will come up.
Yeah.
Having fun with it, relaxing as much as you can, knowing that, yes, you will come up.
Yeah.
And just having that little bit more sense of calm, you use less oxygen.
Yeah,
which
of course.
You need to kind of,
it's the panicking that's actually the dangerous bit.
Panicking, yeah. You just do your best not to panic. So breath work in water and stuff can be a good way to do that stuff. Or just like go out on a smaller day and just let the whitewash take you, even though you could stand up or whatever, but just kind of be in the whitewash.
Yeah,
just do whatever you can to kind of get past and be comfortable and calm.
No, for sure. And I think like the fact that like not my worst fear, but definitely up there, has happened, and I was able to get over it and
move on. Which
and then
epic.
like get back out in Coolangatta when I seen Lottie and Tim and Alice and stuff, and it was so like I was saying, like being in the lineup, and there was like longboarders there was shortboards, there was groms shredding, absolutely killing it.
I know the groms come out and put you to shame, eh? You're like,
oh god, I'm like, oh okay. Yeah, so sorry, my guy, I'm in your way. But yeah, like that love for actually just being out in the water, because then Alice, she didn't have a board, so I went back to the beach, and because I didn't want she was going to be sat there, so I was like, oh, I don't want you to be bored. So we went out, not where the break is, but just more like in the white water where the actual beach is. And she's only ever surfed foamies, and she was like on my hardboard. And again, like I don't know if it's because I was actually like helping her with the waves and stuff like that, and I was like, it honestly doesn't matter what board you're on,
No.
what level you're at, the wave size that you're catching, whether it's whitewater or like massive, like everyone's just love, or at least the people that I've like encountered and surf around and stuff like that, literally just want to be out in the water.
Yeah,
and that is it.
And it's totally cool and it's awesome. Like I think there's a lot of like territorial stuff that goes on. They're like, oh, like get it, just dude, like it's just, you know, I have it sometimes with there's heaps of people. I'm like, oh, you know, you get annoyed by the crowd. Everyone gets annoyed by the crowd, but like at the end of the day, like just because you surf better doesn't mean that you deserve to be in the water more. No. It's just not how it goes. No.
The water is, we do not own that.
No. And look, I will say, obviously, if you're at a level and you're out in like sorry, babe. Let me.
No, good.
What did I say? I said I will say.
Yeah.
I will say if you're like you know, out in the water and you're beginner or intermediate and it's just huge. Don't go out there.
No. Know your limits. 100%.
Totally know your limits.
Caveat, for sure.
But also, you want to challenge yourself. So you're allowed to be out there and cook it a little bit. Yeah. That's okay. There's like, you know, if you want to just go and push yourself a bit more and it's not like something crazy, you deserve to be out there.
Yeah.
You 100% deserve to be out there and no one should tell you otherwise. And if anyone does, like, totally stand up for yourself and just
100%.
Go stick it. But yeah, there's totally a thing around that as well. It's a very interesting sport in that sense, especially when it comes like, the pros and everything are a whole different level. They're amazing.
Yeah.
But when it comes to just like local surfing, there can be some really negative and some really positive things. And I think it's so important for everyone to try and stay positive.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Fully.
Yeah.
And like, just like respecting the water, respecting everybody in the lineup, like, and just going for it. Just sending
and just it. If you see another girl out there, give her a smile.
Yeah, easy.
Say
Definitely.
100%. I always make, like, I'm friendly in the surf. Whenever someone says hi, I'll say hi. But like, if there's another chick out there, I'm like, hey,
hey, how you doing?
Come here. You know, and I think it's really important to do that because it's such an intimidating space for some women to be in.
100%.
And if people want to be like, oh, that's ridiculous. No, it's not ridiculous. It is totally intimidating.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It definitely is. For one, like, you're on the beach with this one thing under your arm attached to your leg, looking out at water, which is like just absolutely stunning, so beautiful, but so scary, and it can be
very powerful.
And then you look past that and you're seeing like just a whole load of people, like dude, that can be intimidating, that can be scary for sure. But dude, when you get out there,
it's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah, I don't, like I was saying before, I don't think there's anything that I've like had in my life where I'm like, yeah, I'll get up at 5:30 in the morning.
That's so good.
And do this.
Next, when you come back, we'll go surfing.
Yeah, 100%. I can't wait.
It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick.
Man.
I'm so glad I met you.
Good. Oh, I know, crazy. I'm so glad I went to the market that day.
I know.
So random, but
so cool. So cool.
But yeah, man.
Now here we are.
I know, perfect, crazy. No, I love it. Everything happens for a reason, for sure.
100%.
I did not think that this was going to be the path I was on, but I'm so glad that I'm on it.
I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to watch you grow and watch Nomadic grow and
yeah, man, thank you.
Keep Salt Sista growing.
Oh yeah, 100%. I can't wait to see do the stuff that you're gonna.
Oh, I hope so. I'm scared and nervous and excited for the future all at the same time. Yeah. My sister girls out there, I love you guys.
Yeah, mom.
Freaking love you guys.
100%. But yeah. Oh, dude.
Oh,
thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me.
Your time. I know you're a busy gal.
No,
so...
all good. I've got a meeting with my brother now. I do have a normal job, so I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make some money. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. Thanks for having me. This was sick. I can't wait to come on here. I'm totally coming on this again.
Yeah, easy, 100%. We'll get the squad on here for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so fun.
Thank you for watching.
Bye, guys.
And yeah, sweet.
So
love it.
That was epic.